Jim Davidson joining us. He is a climber, a speaker. I first saw you speak on the topic of resilience, and recently was making an attempt to climb Everest whenever the earthquake hit Nepal. You were on Everest when the earthquake hit.
That's correct. I was up at 19,900 feet, which is Camp 1. So it's only partway up the mountain, but it put us above a very dangerous place called the Khumbu Icefall, which is 2,500 vertical feet of ice blocks falling downhill, one on top of the other.
Wow.
And when the earthquake hit, we knew there was no way to go back through that icefall because now it was even more of a jumbled mess.
So whenever these crazy weather events hit, with an earthquake we imagine the earth moving. What other kind of phenomenon did you experience? Avalanche, powder blast, those kind of things?
Exactly, yeah. We first heard an avalanche come off to our left, off a 25,000 foot peak called Nuptse.
Were you worried that you were in the path of it?
Oh yeah, we heard the first one start to roar and it grew bigger and longer and longer, and then we heard another one start in the other direction, 180 degrees opposite. So we are in the middle between two avalanches coming towards us. And my partner said, "What do we do?" And I said, "Put on your avalanche beacon," which is an electronic device that sends out a signal in case you get buried.
Yeah.
And by the time I got a little bit of clothes on and got outside the tent, the roar was so big and it was coming at us from two directions, I thought, pretty sure we're not going to survive this. We're all going to be gone in the next minute or two.
You thought you were going to die?
Yeah, I've been in bad situations before, but this one felt pretty likely to not have a good outcome for us.
I saw you on the show I Shouldn't Be Alive about a time you fell into a crevasse. Is that the correct?
That's correct, yeah. Many years ago, my partner and I were climbing on Mount Rainier, and a snow bridge collapsed, a hidden snow bridge, and dropped us down into a crevasse inside a glacier, like you said.
So that was, I mean, you could almost lost your life there.
Correct.
So does having almost lost your life before make you handle almost losing your life again any better?
Well, I think it teaches you to stay calm during those crisis moments. I mean, I and my teammates were scared as heck as those avalanches were roaring towards us, but the first thing that occurred to me was, put your avalanche beacon on so that maybe I'll have an improved chance of surviving, and if I don't survive, it'll be easier on the rescuers to find me. So basically, even in those moments of crisis, it's about trying to improve the situation for yourself and your teammates and the people around you. Even though it may be a very small chance of success, you try and do what you can.
That's one of the strongest survival tips out there, isn't it? To just keep going, keep trying, keep doing what you can.
Absolutely. Even if it seems like it's the odds are against you, you've got to do everything you can to improve the odds just a little bit.
Yeah. You speak about resilience. You spoke to Visit Fort Collins. That's how I got introduced to you, because you were the speaker, the keynote speaker at the lunch. Has the way you speak about resilience changed since your experience on Everest during the earthquake?
It's starting to now. It's still taking place because I've only been back from Nepal for about 10 days, so I'm still kind of getting my footing here and getting used to the time zone change. But I'm speaking a lot at charity events right now and that are raising money for Nepal, and really trying to get at the issue of what happened, of course, but also how can people help out, and a little bit how can we improve our own lives after seeing how difficult things can get. So I'm still working on it now, but yes, it really brings to life some of those things that we talk about when we're talking about how to improve your life and be more resilient when things go wrong.
What has been the essence of your topic when you talk about resilience?
Well, I think the key thing is to know where your resilience comes from. Does it come from being a new father like you? Does it come from the people that raised you, or your faith, or your honor code, perhaps if you're in the military or emergency responder? So know where your strength comes from. That way, when things go wrong, you'll be able to tap into that a bit faster. And also keeping those thoughts of doing the best you can for yourself, your teammates, and your community around you. Even if you think you're going to be buried in an avalanche, trying to make it better for the rescuers and improve it for your family and those left behind. Little things like that about trying to do the best you can for the things that matter in your life give you the strength in the moment, and then give you more strength later on when you kind of get down after the emergency has passed.
We're with Jim Davidson, recently survived the earthquake in Nepal. His website is speakingofadventure.com. What events are you speaking at? And tell us about those.
Let's see, on Friday the 22nd, I'm speaking downtown Fort Collins at a function called a charity, raising money for Nepal. Mm-hmm. And then on May 27th, I'll be speaking for the Coloradoan. It sold out in one day, so we have to move the location. So the location is still being confirmed, but it'll be on social media. And then probably May 26th down in Denver for another one, and there'll be more after that. And all of these are to raise money for the people of Nepal that need a lot of help.
Does this harrowing experience make you less adventurous? Does it make you say, hey, you know, I had a kayak spill once that made me go, what am I in this for? You know, like at what price am I willing to pay in order to have some fun? Because I went over, I thought I broke my arm, And I was like, man, I don't want to recover for 7 months from a kayak spill and can't do anything else. So I kind of like pulled back a little bit after that. Do experiences like this make you want to pull back?
Well, I'm still thinking about that. I still want to be in the mountains and do what I do, which is go on these adventures, distill the lessons, and share them with others. I may do it on smaller peaks. I may do it like I've done before for the university, taking young people out on their first expedition. So I think it causes you to refocus. It's not going to change who I am, which is seeking these adventures and sharing the lessons. But I may adapt a little bit more to focus on the young people, teaching what I've learned through the years. So I think it's a constant refocusing process.
Yeah. How is the condition in the country of Nepal?
Good question. As you saw in the news, terrible, building collapses everywhere. Things were starting to recover after the first earthquake of April 25th. Then they got hit with another huge earthquake, I believe it was May 12th. So they're really pretty downtrodden right now. I think they're going to need short-term help to get through the monsoon, which is coming just in a matter of a few weeks, and it rains every single day, all day. Okay. These people living in tarps. In the long term, they're going to need our help rebuilding, and also they're going to need our help as tourists to go over there and go on treks and go on climbs. And it doesn't have to be big mountain climbs like Everest. There's beautiful, beautiful places to go trekking and hiking, and we really help out the economy by spending your dollars and mingling with the people of Nepal.
Excellent. Jim, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.